folks. Another beer from Treehouse, part of their American IPA series, which is all the same hops. This says American hops, and they use different malts from different independent malt houses. This one is from Massachusetts, so they're keeping it local. This one is from Holyoke, Mass, from Valley Malt. Let's see if there's anything on here that says anything about Valley Malt. Here we go. Transforms New England grown grain from family farms into flavorful malt, serving local breweries and distilleries. But yeah, everything else pretty much on this is the same as before. So I did 3 others before. This is a really fun series. I said it multiple times. Like a lot of folks, like a lot of breweries will do like single hop series or like certain hop series to showcase hops, and that's cool, right? Like that's awesome. But it's very rare that you get the same beer brewed with the same malt, with a different set of malt, right? You're usually going to get the same grain bill, different hops to kind of see what the hops do. This is really interesting. The same brew process, different malts. It's really fun. So, anyways, get this in a glass. The first Sunday of football season, Patriots, they won. They won. It's a new era, man. New era. So it's an exciting day. So let's see. Got this in my treehouse glass. I just drank water out of it too. I just drank a whole glass of water out of it. Look at me hydrating. And it's still kind of dirty. That's what I was trying to get at by that. But look at that. It's gorgeous. It looks really pretty. Really bright yellow, but a finger, close to 2 fingers ahead. Yeah, this is a really pretty beer. It's hazy. It's gorgeous. Look, let's get a nose. Man, this may be. Now it's been a couple weeks since I did one of the last ones, but this could be one of the more juice forward from a nose perspective, at least. Big notes of like it's weird. So the same hops, right? Like, and they don't say it. They just say like the same like American hops, American grown hops. But like this is the most like explosive nature I think that I can remember. I can't read the bottom of this can. It's all smushed. Um, this like soft tropical fruits, really overripe, like almost like citra. Um, Lemongrass, bubblegum, cantaloupe, big melon characteristics. And then like from like a malt perspective, there is a little bit of grain in the back if you really pull, but again, like I said, this is out of all the other 3, this is the one that's like pulling the most from like a hop nose standpoint. Um, let's try it. Cheers. Interesting. The taste sort of follows the nose in a sense. This is also more of the most. Oh, there's the grain. That's interesting. Okay, this might take a little bit to dissect. Um, by a little bit, I don't know how long we're going, but it's funny. I was like, I'm gonna go down and do a beer review. My daughter goes, "How long are you gonna take?" I'm like, "Hopefully less than 5 minutes." And she goes, "Why?" And I was like, "Because nobody wants to hear me drink a beer and talk about it for like 7+ minutes." Let's see what happens. Um, First off, that melon characteristic I mentioned on the nose comes through beautifully. There's like this cantaloupe, a little bit of honeydew melon, and then there's like this bitterness that kind of finishes off. But first off, and I don't know, I like kind of I do this a lot. I don't like kind of going in from the start to finish, which is kind of weird. Of like sometimes when I talk about taste with these type of beers, um, the front of it is front loaded with over ripened tropical fruits. So if like Citra is one of those hops, like a candied citrusiness to it. But then there is this lovely grain as it's bittering on the sides of your tongue that kind of washes over, like this malty, grainy cereal grainness that's like really, really nice. This is the type of malt that goes the opposite of what I was saying. Like a lot of folks were like, "Hey, let's showcase hops." This feels like that type of malt that would do that. Like this is the perfect type of malt that would showcase a hop varietal where there's enough malt backbone, but it lets the hops shine through. This is awesome. This is fantastic. Is it better than the others? I don't know. The others, I do appreciate that maybe they're a little bit more malt forward. It's not. It's an interesting. There's an interesting balance, right? Like your Treehouse is trying to do this thing where they're trying to showcase local maltsters, and then but you get this like lovely malt that's just there to maybe kind of showcase the hop a little bit. It's really cool. Yeah, and like the other ones, the hops were there, obviously, right? But like, I don't know. This has been some of the funnest beer reviews I've done in a while because it's like always it flips the script every time. It was funner. It was fun. Well, I don't know. It was funner. Like the first two I did back to back, so it was a little bit easier to kind of side by side it or compare it. Whereas this, I'm going back in memory, right, and pulling out. But yeah, this is just. There's not been a bad one of these I've had. This is amazing, an amazing beer. There's that little bit of like the crackery malt that comes through right at the end. It's perfect. If you guys have had any of these from Treehouse, which ones are your favorite? I've had Valley Malt. I'm not even going to pretend I know. I can't name them off the top of my head right now. It's been a fun day of watching grilling Patriots. Some beers, good amount of beers, 3 beers, 4 beers. Yeah. You may be able to tell by the review. But this is again, it's 6.5%. So if you haven't watched the other ones, I'll link to some of them. But then go back to the channel and take a look. If you're if you're near Treehouse, I recommend picking them up. They had a mix pack, and I said this in the last review. They don't have it now, so I ended up picking a 4-pack up of this, and I'm not mad at it. Like this is great. Like I'm not mad at, and full 4-packs of all of them I bought. I'm not mad at them. I've drank them all. I've given them to friends because I'm like, this is great. But yeah, if you're there, this is a great experience. If you see the 4-pack, don't hesitate. Grab it. Even if there's 1 or 2 in there maybe you don't like, it's the best experiment that's going to hit your mouth in a long time, right? Because you're going to get to see the differences between what malt can make to a beer. Obviously, a lot of people know hops, and I'm saying this again, I said this in the reviews, but maybe you're watching this for the first time. A lot of folks like think about hops and what hops do to beers. Like, oh, I like Galaxy, I like Citra, I like Bubba, I like Eldorado, I like Mosaic, but no one really thinks about the malt, right? And it's the backbone of a beer, right? Without malt, you're not going to get beer because you could technically have a beer without hops, right? Grisette, are we talking Grisette? Yeah, it's fun. But down in the comments, what do you think? What do you think of American IPA, the American IPA series from Treehouse? What do you think of Treehouse in general? Which one is your favorite so far? Did I miss any? I think I missed one so far, and I don't know if hopefully if I can try it, I can. I'll try to grab it, but it was really fun. Treehouse, if you're watching, I really hope you make the mix pack a little bit more available, or try to make it available every time you brew a couple. That'd be really fun. Or at least even if it's only 2, like just do 2 and 2, right? It's a really fun thing to do. Down in the comments, Nerdsense.net, Instagram, Facebook, those are your things. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to this notification bell so you can post new videos. And I'm Sean. This is Nerdsense. Cheers.